If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Stick a pie in Bill Gates' face. There's nothing to it.
Hello, folks. I'm going to attempt to perhaps do this without my glasses. We'll find out how it works. So this is Natural Law Health, and in today's episode, which again I will make short because I do have a class to teach in about 30 minutes, I'm going to discuss really what does allopathy fix. I mean, it's basically the only system of healing that seems to be authorized or approved of by modern society. If you know anything of the Flexner Report, which I don't know, when did that report come out? I'll put a little picture of it because I think I have an image of it. The Rockefellers were behind the Flexner Report. And basically, it was written to diminish or to get rid of all other systems of healing, including things that kind of creeped back into, our normal healing practices, but only under, the worship of allopathy, because a lot of these people, they worship allopathy. It really makes me sick to my stomach when I talk to a natural health practitioner and they refer me to a physician for something. I'm like, well, I kind of came to you because I don't want to see a physician, right? Or, with my dogs, if I take my dog to somebody and they're like, well, your dog needs this, he needs or she needs to go to a real veterinarian. So I want to talk a little bit about what does allopathy really heal? What does it really fix? And I've mentioned this, I kind of sound like a broken record, but they don't fix anything. All they do is suppress symptoms. They turn off the monitoring system, or the what is it in your car, that where the like a little red icon shows up on the dashboard. They unplug that so that when there's something going on with your car, you're not going to know about it. You have no knowledge of it. Your body has mechanisms to let you know something's wrong, and allopathy has drugs to suppress that knowing. And so you go about your day until, after you're on your, fifth chronically prescribed medication to keep those symptoms at bay, because God forbid they, cause you to feel anything. It's just, it's a system of perpetual dis-ease. And these are the people that are running the show right now with this whole COVIDs. They are in control. They're the ones making up the rules that you have to cover your face. Today, talking to my mother, she was telling me how after running some errands and having to wear a mask all day, that she had a headache, and she said to me, she knows how I feel about these things, and she said to me, do you think these masks could be making me sick? I don't know. Do you think breathing's important? And it just, the propaganda, I really don't know how people can wear these damn masks all day. I had a checkup just the other day, and I was sitting there at the checkout, and the woman getting checked out next to me had a mask on. The two people at the, doing the services had masks on, and I'm like, how can you guys just sit there? It makes me have a hard time breathing watching them wearing masks. I don't know. It's a system that is just quite the opposite. And it seems like we live in opposite land, right? We live in opposite world. So what really does heal? Allopathy doesn't. They suppress. All they do is suppress. They, using pharmacological agents or the knife, they either suppress or remove the problem. Now, removing the problem sometimes can be a good thing, but in most cases, it doesn't fix anything. Like removing the gallbladder just because you had an ultrasound and there were a few gallstones. Well, you know what? There are natural ways to dissolve those gallstones, to help expand the bile ducts, to release those gallstones into your intestinal tract, and then eliminate them. There are ways to do almost anything that allopathy, does. Now, keep in mind, I think the thing that has been like the little lure for people that love allopathy is the quickness. These symptoms can be turned off rather quickly. With natural means, it might take a little bit of time. It might take diligence. It actually might take you changing something in your life, giving up something that you really like. There is a price to pay for living unnaturally. And it's just really, it's sad that people aren't willing to make those changes, that they'd rather take a drug or go and have their chest opened up or whatever part of their body opened up in the most invasive way rather than doing something as natural as switch the diet. So, as I prepare for a possible, not going back to teaching in the fall, if things continue the way they are, and if my employer, is going to mandate masks and all of this other nonsense that's going on, and I have to, support myself, well, let me tell you a little bit about how I'm going to support myself. First and foremost, I have lots of classes. So if you're interested in learning science, chemistry, biology, anatomy, and physiology, even biochemistry is going to be a future course. Embryology will be a future course. All of these natural sciences, I'm learning this and getting information about the courses that you would not get in a typical allopathic loving traditional college, especially for those wanting to get into the healing arts. And I call it the healing arts because you don't want to be just this drug pusher, right? We want to heal. We don't want to suppress. We don't want to just remove an organ that the body needs. We want to actually heal the body. And so I teach that. I'm building up my courses. There's a link below this video that will let you learn more about the courses that I offer. Right now, I'll just let you know, depending on when you watch this video, there are a lot of anatomy and physiology videos or courses. I do plan on updating those. But the courses that are going to work towards Dr. Morris's naturopathic school are currently electrical chemistry and cell biology. And then after that, I will be adding more. In fact, over the summer, I'm going to be announcing my human anatomy and physiology courses, and I'm breaking it up into mini courses. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and I offer them live, and then the live sessions are recorded, so that's something you can get involved in. Another thing is that I offer health consultations. So my clients actually heal themselves, believe it or not. I am just overjoyed when I get these, emails where clients actually following the recommendations I provided, they are healing, releasing, tons of mucoid plaque, getting test results showing that things are back to normal. And then above and beyond that, they're feeling amazing. They're feeling like, holy cow, I have energy. Their vitality comes back. That's true healing. In allopathy, you take a drug, yes, it turns off a symptom, but vitality, that's not part of the, that's not part of the deal. We didn't say we were going to make you feel good. We just said we're going to take the symptom away. And that's what they have to offer, right? So those are my current kind of ways that I'm going to support myself. I'm also kind of toying around the idea of offering group cleansing events. So maybe like a fruit and green juice detox. That's something I was thinking about. And that's just kind of a very simple way, just for 7 days to kind of give your body a reset, offering daily videos, and also showing you ways in which you can open up those channels of elimination. So a variety of little tips and tricks that I give my own clients about how they can eliminate more effectively. And some of it does involve herbs. The herbs are beautiful. They're just plant foods, right? In their whole natural state. No isolates are used. And I typically recommend Dr. Morris's herbs. But there's other things that are outside of the herbal category to help people open up those channels of elimination, like steam saunas, hot and cold packs on the back of the head. What's some others? The neural lymphatic points, herbal inhalation. Well, I guess that kind of involves the herbs, but when you're like drinking a tea or making a tea like for your lung health, one that I really like is 3 Lung Tea that Dr. Morse sells. But, if you don't want to buy his herbal tea, you can just get the herbs themselves. Almost any health food store sells those. Fenugreek, mullein, and is it pleurisy? I might be saying that one wrong. But those 3 herbs are great for the lungs. They're great at breaking up congestion. So you can drink the tea, which is wonderful. But you can also do a steam inhalation where after you've made the tea, you just kind of lean over, put a towel over your head, and just deeply inhale the vapors. And then they come into your nasal cavity, even get into your pharynx, which is the anatomical name for throat, back into even the deeper areas, breaking up that congestion, helping you release. And wouldn't that be a much better way to deal with a respiratory issue than to, how they dealt with COVIDs at the beginning of this whole scam/pandemic? What they do, they put people on ventilators, and then they died. Way to go, allopathy. You're just, right up there with Hitler in, helping society. Anyway, let's see. What time is it? I do need these glasses. I've been teaching so much online. I'll try to look up so that I'm not getting the reflection in my glasses. Sometimes it's hard to find that. So it was just too hard to kind of keep the reflection out of my glasses. I tried. But I'll just, squint if I need to read something. I was just looking at the time because I do have a class to teach. So I'm currently teaching cell biology live. So I just mentioned a little bit about my services, a little bit about the courses I'm teaching. And just so you know, I can help with your pets as well. I do often recommend certain herbs for pets. One thing I will recommend for cats and dogs, they really benefit from homeopathic remedies as well. So homeopathy for humans, I think, is kind of hit or miss. I personally, my regular medical doctor is a homeopath, and he has recommended a few homeopathic remedies. They've never really worked that well for me, and I kind of know what Dr. Morse means by, questioning homeopathy. But for whatever reason, perhaps it's because animals are awesome and they're just so pure, and their vital system is not really interfered as much with, stress and overthinking and the things that humans are involved in. For whatever reason, animals respond very well. I've always had at least 3 or 4 dogs in my life, and when I've taken them to homeopaths for healing, amazing results. I'm not a homeopathic practitioner for animals, but that's something I'd like to learn, and I've learned a lot, and, I do know acute remedies. So, for instance, I've had 2 different dogs who have been stung by bees, and I think it's because they ate the bee, and their faces poof up, right? That happens, right, to dogs. Well, both of them, that's what happened. Their face puffed up, and it's scary. If this happens to your puppy, it freaks you out. And I remember the first time it happened to my first dog, I was a little, confused. But I had been studying homeopathy, actually homeopathic first aid for cats and dogs, and I remember learning that apis was the remedy for any type of sting, like bee sting. And so over a period of 4 hours, I gave in multiple doses, in liquid. I potenize it. I, add the remedy, Apis 30C. I added to some distilled water, agitate it, and then just give a little bit over 4 hours, and the swelling just came down. Didn't have to take my dog to the emergency room. Didn't get the big vet bill, because, emergency vets, they just charge you $100 just for walking in the front door. And then beyond that, it's whatever they do. And a lot of times they're giving dogs steroids and things that are really, dogs have very sensitive kidneys and adrenals, and you really don't want to be injecting them or giving them medication like that unless it's truly necessary. Don't get me wrong, there's a place for allopathy, and that is in emergencies, putting together bones, keeping somebody alive. But their treatment of chronic illness, even most innocuous kind of acute types of problems, they're not really that great. And in acute issues, they can sometimes make an acute issue, which you can easily fix naturally, they can turn it into a chronic issue by suppressing or injecting or giving drugs that are not needed. So anyway, that's just like a little something. So yeah, and I'm also thinking about offering like a subscription service for people that, want to have, consults with me, and they want to kind of keep me as someone to ask questions. So, I do try to, for my clients that, set up appointments with me and pay for my services, I do give them a lot of great feedback back. And so I often recommend that they check in with me regularly and through email exchange. After we meet, I can give them little pointers, tips and tricks. And then, I usually recommend in about 8 weeks or so, we have a follow-up where we can discuss things more in depth. But, I'm thinking about doing a subscription service that might be, something that you can pay monthly or something like that if you just want to ask me questions. All right, so if you didn't know, Friday, if you were looking for me on the One Great Work Network, I wasn't there. Mark Passio was part of the Seed event, and I know they were live streaming that event. But I will be there next Friday. I already have a few people that have emailed me questions. So if you do want to ask me a question free of charge, the only thing is that you have to be okay with me reading your question. And if you don't want me to say your name, let me know. I might just say your first name, though, when I read the question and address it in the live stream. Because I'm going to try to make these live stream events things that can benefit everybody. So, yeah, I think I'll stop it there. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm really excited because I'm giving my last final exam on Monday. And then I have a couple of weeks off before summer school. So I'm going to really kind of get a lot of gardening in and, take the dogs on little mini adventures. It'll be fun. So anyway, adios. I'm going to end this video here. Bye.